Tonight on Game Plan.
Nobody's real satisfied in that locker room right now.
5 consecutive wins, but no sign of complacency on Airline Drive as the Saints get ready for their second straight home game against a sub-500 foe.
When you're winning, your confidence grows. And there's no better example right now than the team we play this week.
We're breaking down the matchup to see how the Saints plan to make it 5 straight losses for the Tampa Bay Bucs. Plus, a film study on Marshon Lattimore's dominance, how to bring back Delvin Breaux, and what to make of a flurry of trades featuring upcoming Saints opponents and playoff contenders. It's all on Game Plan right now.
From Fox 8 Sports, this is Game Plan. Sponsored by your Southern Quality Ford dealer, built Ford tough. And the 2017 Nissan Titan with America's best bumper-to-bumper limited truck warranty, Nissan Titan. Take on any job.
Another week, another win. The Saints keep rolling at 5-2 atop the NFC South. Up next, a clash with the team many thought would be where the Saints are right now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Welcome to Game Plan with Juan Kincaid. I'm Sean Fazan.
Tampa Bay may be struggling right now, but they always play the Saints tough, and this just feels like a trap game. Bucs have lost 4 in a row. Saints have won 5 in a row. Should make it 6, right? If the Saints continue to follow their weekly plan, the answer is yes.
Well, it validates, validates the process. You feel good about your preparation through the week and your routine. Again, I think there's things that we can do better. When you turn on the tape, in years past, the margin for error has been so small, and there are even times where, you go out there and you felt like, we played really, really good and just it didn't happen for us. Whereas now, I feel like we're doing a lot of good things, but, just really scratching the surface in some areas. Like a lot of things I feel like can really bump us to the next level, I think, on both sides of the ball. And yet we're still finding ways to win games. We're doing enough things well. So that's encouraging. But you also realize that the games are only getting tougher and more important and more at stake. And so we've got to continue to fine-tune and get better and better.
And today's injury report looks exactly the same as Wednesday, and it means we have to keep an eye on these guys. Teron Armstead, Andrews Pete, Larry Warford, all 3 guys set out practice on Wednesday, and they were out again on Thursday. Tampa Bay was featured on the popular show Hard Knocks this summer, and that's been a fitting description. From Hurricane Maria forcing them to take a bye in Week 1 to now dealing with Jameis Winston's shoulder injury.
They are not the team we thought they would be, at least through 7 games. But in this division, anything is possible, and the Saints must be ready.
Winston's in trouble. Tries to get rid of it, and that's a fumbled football.
From preseason Super Bowl contender to 2-5 through 7 games. 2017 hasn't quite been the year Tampa Bay was expecting. Still, the Saints know how tough this team truly is.
I would say yes, absolutely. But regardless of what the records are, it's a divisional game. And it's very important for them, and it's very important for us. And each one of these games you feel like our battles with these guys went down to the last drive last year, both times. And they're an extremely talented group on both sides of the ball. We know what they're capable of, and we expect their best performance, and we've got to have our best to beat them.
I just think that it's a little time, and they got to get themselves together. But they're a real good team. They're very streaky, and you got to pay a lot of attention to them. And you got to go out and you got to play them. Don't look at their record at all.
The Bucs' offense is explosive. They're 4th in the NFL, 2nd in passing offense. And it's easy to see why. They have a franchise quarterback, and though he can be erratic, Jameis Winston is capable of taking over games. He has 10 touchdowns to 6 interceptions on the year. He throws to what is a pretty dynamic group of skilled players, with Mike Evans and Deshaun Jackson at wide receiver and Cameron Brayden, O.J. Howard at tight end.
You bring a guy like Deshaun in with the talents that he has. Winston can throw the ball as far as any other quarterback in this league. And Evans is just as big as any big-time receiver that's in the game.
On defense, 2 former LSU Tigers are in their linebacker core. Quan Alexander is coming off a 10-tackle performance against Carolina, while Kendall Beckwith leads their team in tackles.
He's played a lot of spots and a lot of snaps. There's some film of him playing the mic. There's some film of him playing the outside backer position. I think he's been impressive, and he's someone that carries his pads well. He's strong. He's big. And he's had some versatility, and that's pretty challenging to do in a system when you're a rookie at linebacker.
But overall, the usually vaunted Tampa Bay defense has struggled. They rank 29th in the NFL in yards allowed. Again, the Saints feel like they're a better unit than their ranking shows.
Yeah, I got a lot of respect for Mike Smith. You know, he was in Atlanta for a long time, and he's been there for a few years now. I think he's done a great job with that defense. They're very talented at a lot of positions. You know, they fly around, very fast defense. You know, really, they got a great pass rush, even just with their four-man pass rush. You know, linebackers fly around, DBs fly around, both safeties and corners. So it's just one of those defenses that, you know, I think in a lot of cases makes you earn everything you get. You know, keep it in front of you. We're going to run up, we're going to rally, we're going to tackle, we're going to try to strip, we're going to do all those things. They're just a well-coached defense.
The Saints are 2-2 in the last 4 games they played against the Bucs. In those 4 games, the largest margin of victory for either team was 7 points.
So what you're saying, it's one of those throughout the numbers kind of game, as it always is. And it's also a product of the 4 teams in the division knowing each other too well. No real secrets in the NFC South. They play the way they play. And because the head coaches haven't really changed that much, the team's identities haven't changed either. But what may appear a bit different to the rest of the division, the fact that the Saints are looking like the most confident team in the division right now. And that confidence has led to their fast start this season.
I told the guys today, when you're winning, your confidence grows, and there's no better example right now than the team we play this week. You know, New Orleans started off 1-2, and now they've won 4 in a row, and you can see it on the tape. I've been looking at some tape this afternoon. You know, they've always had confidence on defense, on offense, but you can see their confidence on defense. The same holds true the other way when you lose 4 in a row. It's not so much your confidence, because we've got confidence players. These players have all done it before, or they wouldn't be in the NFL. It's your belief. It's your belief, your belief in the system, your belief in each other, your belief in the other side of the ball, your belief in your teammates. Very rarely is it belief in self.
The only thing Cutter got wrong in that soundbite, the Saints win streak is now 5 in a row, but everything else is spot on. The Saints are winning now because their confidence, Sean, is at an all-time high.
No doubt about that. The Bucs want to feel what the Saints are feeling. The question is how.
It's sometimes the light just has to go on for you. It finally did in week 3 for the Saints, and it never went off. It's been off for the past 4 weeks for the Bucs. The Saints need to keep the switch out of the Bucs' reach this Sunday. Don't give them a chance to get back hot again.
Keep shining in the Superdome. Still to come, if the Defensive Rookie of the Year award were handed out now, Marshon Lattimore would be a shoo-in for the honor. Up next, what the film says about the Black and Gold's newest shutdown corner.
The Sands Film Breakdown is sponsored by the 2017 Nissan Titan. From Fox 8 Sports, you're watching Game Plan. Sponsored by your Southern Quality Ford dealer, built Ford tough. And the 2017 Nissan Titan, with America's best bumper-to-bumper limited truck warranty, Nissan Titan. Take on any job.
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Stafford throwing, and it's going to be intercepted. Coming back the other way, Lattimore. He's going to take it to the house of Trubisky, who drops, looks, guns it downfield, and it's intercepted. The Saints have picked it off. Coming back to the 35. Get down, Lattimore. He doesn't go down easily, but he does go down now.
One thing we know for sure, through 7 games, Marshon Lattimore looks like a star for the Saints at cornerback.
From the day he arrived, Juan, the moment has never been too big for him. And as my film study showed this week, his effort against the Bears may have been his best one yet.
Lattimore was outstanding Sunday, but what really stood out was how well he played in crucial moments in the game. His best 3 plays came in the 4th quarter, with the game in doubt. Here he is at the 7:32 mark, score 17-6. Lattimore has deep third responsibility. The Bears run a post-seam deep out route concept. This combination is designed to get Lattimore to bite on the deep out. He doesn't. Instead, he recognized the concept and comes over to break up the pass down the seam to Deion Sims. At the 1:57 mark of the game, the Saints defense was facing a crucial 4th and 1, up only 17-12. Lattimore is lined up tight on Trey McBride. On the snap, he gives McBride a very strong jam at the line of scrimmage, which throws the timing off his route. By the time he is able to run, he effectively is taken out of the play, as Lattimore is easily able to guard his corner route. And finally, the game-sealing play was just a simple matter of awareness. Lattimore is playing soft coverage. On 3rd and 15, McBride runs the deep in or dig route at the sticks and actually appears to be open. But Mitchell Trubisky badly overthrows the pass. Lattimore makes him pay with the easy interception.
Now, let's be fair and point out Trubisky is not an elite quarterback yet. Chicago's receivers are one of the worst in the NFL. Still, it's impossible to ignore the swift growth of Lattimore. This week, though, the challenge of Deshaun Jackson and Mike Evans will be much greater.
During the offseason, there was such excitement over what could be at cornerback. Delvin Breaux on one side, Marshon Lattimore on the other. No one knew what would become of Lattimore, but we all thought we knew what they had in Breaux until the Saints didn't have Breaux anymore. A broken fibula meant a trip to the IR and a 9-week wait until the start of his NFL season. He's expected to make his debut this Sunday, meaning the Saints have to figure out how and when to use him. Luckily, they've had some practice with this already with Willie Snead.
Well, I think like anything else, it's kind of happening with Willie Snead. It's just getting the physical, the cardio, all the football playing elements up to speed. I don't think you just flip the switch and then bang, so I think the same thing's taking place right now with Willie. You got several snaps yesterday, not as many as probably we would have liked, and yet, he's someone that we're going to need down the stretch. I think that same process will take place with Delvin.
Oh, I'm great, man. I'm there. I practiced full last week, man, and like you said, it's just those reps of trying to get, in game shape. That's going to be the biggest thing for me. Coaches know that, training staff know that, so we just have to get some reps and continue to keep going.
It really is a question of balance. Get Breaux some snaps while not messing up what's worked so well. A decision on who will eventually be the guy opposite of Lattimore can come much later.
No doubt about that. We'll see what happens on Sunday. Coming up, the Saints and Buccaneers, the two teams heading in opposite directions. How will the different mindsets clash this week? We'll explore with Herbie Teope of NOLA.com, the Times-Picayune.
From Fox 8 Sports, you're watching Game Plan. Sponsored by your Southern Quality Ford dealer, built Ford tough. And the 2017 Nissan Titan, with America's best bumper-to-bumper limited truck warranty, Nissan Titan. Take on any job.
Back in June, our colleague Jim Henderson was inducted into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, but he was unable to attend the ceremony because of a previous commitment. Tuesday, the Hall of Fame, along with the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation, brought the ceremony to Jim, holding an event at Rock and Bowl so that he could be recognized in person. Jim received the Distinguished Service Award in sports journalism for a career in New Orleans that spanned nearly 40 years.
I'm honored by it, certainly. Never anticipated this. When I came here back in 1978, I follow in some illustrious footsteps, people like Hap Glaudy and Buddy Diliberto, Pete Finney, Bob Ressler. I could go on and on of people who've made far more contribution to the New Orleans sports scene than I have. But to recognize the fact that I'm now cast in their aura, I'm very honored by it.
And the voice of the Saints will be with us Sunday morning at 10 a.m. to preview the game, and Sunday night at 10:30 to wrap it all up. Come Monday, you can catch Jim at 8 a.m., 5 p.m., and 10:35. All of that right here on Fox 8. Nice to have with us Herbie Teope from NOLA.com and the Times-Picayune. And the easiest question here of the whole interview is 5 wins in a row. It's not really a question. It's more of a statement. This team is rolling right now.
And I think, one of the things you always have to figure out with a good team is you're going to have a lot of good luck. And good teams make their luck, and that's exactly what the Saints have been doing. The ball is bouncing their way. They're getting a lot of the good calls. Some of these games they would have lost in previous years. Now you're starting to see their fortunes turn. 5-game winning streak in the National Football League is nothing to sneeze at.
Like I always say, Juan, good luck follows good teams. This is a good team right now. They're in a groove. As we said Monday night, Juan, Sean Payton is really in a groove right now. He's got his mojo back a little bit. He's got a good feel for this team. The identity of this team has changed a little bit. They're not really the explosive offense that we've seen in years past. They're more of a, they're getting a lot of big plays out of their running backs, and defensively they're making some big plays as well. They've really come along defensively. So is working. This kind of reminds me of the 2013 team a little bit, that sort of identity. So it's working. They've won 5 in a row, looking to make it 6 this week.
We're talking to Jim Henderson on our Black and Gold show on Monday nights. Shameless plug. He talked about how this is what we see as like the ultimate. We thought Chicago was a trap game. This is the trap game because you know that at any given moment, Tampa Bay could wake up and play like what they are expected to play like.
And one of the things you have to keep in mind here is these are divisional opponents. So records go out the window. Statistics go out the window because these teams know each other well. One of the things that did hurt the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to start the season was they were without running back Doug Martin. We asked Coach Sean Payton about what this team has been missing without him, and the bottom line is you're missing that explosive piece in the backfield, and they have been having to throw the ball a lot. But with Doug Martin, if you get him going against the Saints have given up 388 yards rushing, 338 yards rushing. I get that right? 338 yards rushing in the past 2 games. They've been susceptible to the big plays, so you got to stop Martin this week.
So on the other side of the ball, because stopping Martin is one thing. They've got some weapons on their receiving core as well. We're getting Delvin Breaux back. We're not sure how much he's going to play. We're not sure if he's going to get to play at all because, again, the question here, I think, is, Herbie, is that you've got a secondary that's playing in such good sync right now. Why would you risk putting Breaux out there and messing that up? But you got to get him out there eventually to see how he fits in, and maybe he ends up becoming that guy opposite of Marshon Lattimore.
Well, one of the things that you're going to want to see out of this team with Delvin Breaux is work him in gradually, and I think Sean Payton mentioned that earlier in the week. This isn't going to be a situation like they did last year where he came back off of that fibula injury and he was rushed back into action. He was never the same. So I would expect them to gradually ease him in, kind of like what they've been doing with Willie Snead these past 2 games. Don't expect them to really mess with the chemistry back there because, as Juan said, this defensive secondary is playing lights out.
They're playing lights out, and how can you mess with it now with King Crawley and Marshon Lattimore on the edges there? And Kenny Vaccaro has been the 3rd corner. It hasn't even been a cornerback, a true cornerback playing that nickel. It's been Kenny Vaccaro. My guess is, like you said, they'll work him in. They'll kind of feel the situation of the game, whatever the scenario may be, maybe a package of maybe 10 snaps, 11 snaps, that sort of range, similar to what they're doing with Willie Snead. But if he can show he is 2015 Delvin Breaux, then I think he's actually an upgrade over King Crawley. But if he cannot show that, then he could be at a loss for snaps here because King Crawley has really taken advantage of this opportunity and played well.
Somebody on this desk always keeps telling me it's a good problem to have when you have all these good cornerbacks. Real quickly with a question from our Final Play app and a Final Word feature. This is from Nick. He asked the question, says, Drew Brees loves using tight ends in his passing game. How come we are not using it as often as we did in the past? Good question.
They're just not as explosive in the passing game. They wanted Kobe Fleener to be that player. He hasn't quite been that way. Look, they envision Kobe Fleener to be a guy that can run the same route tree as Jimmy Graham. He just doesn't have the same skill set in that regard. He's not bad at the post route. He's not bad at the underneath routes. He's just not a seam route runner that can go back shoulder the way Jimmy Graham was. Josh Hill, Michael Ho'omanu, fantastic in the ground game. We've highlighted the way they played well in the ground game. They're just not as dynamic in the passing game. That's just who they are.
These guys are all serviceable.
Exactly, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if in this draft they target a big pass-catching tight end that'll be here for a while.
Or maybe go after Jimmy Graham again.
No, I don't know about that. Well, the trade deadline is over with, so you don't have to worry about that. All those rumors out there, Jimmy Graham returning to New Orleans, it's null and void at this point. But Sean hit the nail on the head there. The Saints are running the ball very well with Josh Hill at the tight end and Michael Ho'omanu as the other blocking tight end. You don't need to pass the ball as much between those two when you're running the ball as effectively as the Saints are with Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara.
All right, so we'll leave it right there. Once again, the Saints at home this weekend trying to win that 6th game in a row. That is crazy talk. Herbie, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. All right, coming up, while the Saints didn't make any trade deadline moves, plenty of their upcoming opponents did. Chris Hagan reassesses the NFL landscape and gives you fantasy football advice on how to capitalize on the change. Stay with us.
Keys to the Game is sponsored by your Southern Quality Ford dealer. From Fox 8 Sports, you're watching Game Plan. Sponsored by your Southern Quality Ford dealer, built Ford tough. And the 2017 Nissan Titan with America's best bumper-to-bumper limited truck warranty, Nissan Titan. Take on any job.
Pass protection has been a key to the game all year for the Saints, and it will be crucial this week. The Bucs defense is averaging just 1 sack per game. That's dead last in the NFL. Meanwhile, the Saints are allowing just 1 sack per game. That's best in the league. So that's the good news for Drew Brees. On the other side of the matchup, the banged-up Jameis Winston. He's been sacked 13 times. Not bad, but not great. So expect Cam Jordan and company to pin their ears back and force more pressure like the Panthers did. Each week on the Final Play app's Final Word feature, we get viewers asking questions about trades that the Saints should make.
Indeed, we do. The NFL trading deadline has come and gone with many deals, none involving the Saints, but many affecting the landscape up ahead. Chris Hagan takes a look at the fantasy ramifications in this week's Extra Point.
Entering Week 9, you're probably just 4 or 5 games away from your fantasy football playoffs. And it's time to make the tough decisions to ensure you give yourself a chance to play for the money. The upside of Raiders quarterback Derek Carr doesn't seem to be there anymore. No more rolling him out for even 2 or 3 touchdown performances. Consider him matchup dependent. As for running backs, no position's been more fluid this year. The Ezekiel Elliott saga has been impossible to predict, but while you wait, keep your eye in Philadelphia's backfield as well. It's more jam-packed than it was before with the addition of Jay Ajayi from the Dolphins, but only time will tell if he gets a workload worthy enough of a start. For now, I wouldn't play Ajayi or LeGarrette Blount if you have better options. At receiver, watch out for Kelvin Benjamin headed to Buffalo. Head coach Sean McDermott, having seen him up close and personal in Carolina for years, is high on his new offensive weapon, and Benjamin could become an even bigger factor than he was with the Panthers. Of course, all of these trades also mean a pretty active fantasy football free agent market. Miami will feature a new halfback, likely Kenyon Drake. If Cowboys running backs Darren McFadden or Alfred Morris are available, get on it. And if you're getting desperate at receiver, Seattle's Paul Richardson and Jets wideout Robbie Anderson are still owned in less than 30% of fantasy leagues. Both had touchdowns last week and could continue to be good enough to start, especially with the Bears, Browns, Chargers, Steelers, Patriots, and Vikings all on a bye week. Reporting for Game Plan, I'm Chris Hagan.
Our coverage certainly doesn't stop here. Lots more on Fox 8 News Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday it's the game day routine. Fox 8 Live Tailgate begins a day full of football on our air, including the Saints kicking off at noon. Our reports begin on Fox 8 News at 9, leading up to the final play at 10:30.
And be sure to tune in for Fox 8 Football Friday at 10:35 as Chris Hagan and I take you around the state for all the great prep action here in Louisiana. Until then, thank you for watching Game Plan. Thanks to everyone here at Fox 8 for their contributions. Our next newscast is bright and early, 4:30 in the morning. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
From Fox 8 Sports, this has been Game Plan, sponsored by your Southern Quality Ford dealer, built Ford tough, and the 2017 Nissan Titan with America's best bumper-to-bumper limited truck warranty. Nissan Titan, take on any job.